Attention American poker players. Do you want to legally cash out your poker winnings to PayPal? Then head to globalpoker.com and see why it's the fastest growing site for US players. That's globalpoker.com.
Poker Stories is an audio series that features casual interviews with some of the game's best players and personalities. Each episode highlights a well-known figure in the poker world and dives deep into their favorite tales both on and off the field.
Welcome to Poker Stories, a podcast brought to you by Card Player, the Poker Authority, and hosted by me, Julio Rodriguez. This is episode number 34, featuring the one and only Freddy Deeb. Freddy is now 62 years old, but he's still going strong at the tables. In fact, he's playing more these days than he has in the last few years, when he took a little bit of a break to open a restaurant. Freddy's poker accomplishments are obviously impressive. He has more than $8.5 million in live tournament earnings, including 2 World Poker Tour titles and 2 WSOP bracelets. His biggest win was the $2.3 million he pocketed for winning the 2007 50K Poker Players Championship. Freddy is one of the more entertaining personalities in poker, which is why he was a regular on many poker shows, most notably High Stakes Poker. And that same personality shows through in this interview. You'll hear the stories from when he was on top, and the stories from when he had to claw his way out from the bottom. Enough intro, here it is, my conversation with Freddy Deeb. I am here with Freddy Deeb. How you doing, Freddy?
Great, how about you?
Good, you're back. How does it feel? I mean, you never really left. People say you left, you know what I mean? But you never really left, you were there, you know what I mean?
Well, it's not about leaving. I got involved in business.
Mm-hmm.
Things did not go well.
Yeah, the whole story was you took a break from poker to start a Mediterranean restaurant, right?
I mean, it wasn't my intention to take a break. I didn't really take a break. Just things didn't go good, and it was too much distraction for playing poker, for life, for kids, for everything. Mm-hmm. So I was just like under the radar.
Yeah.
Trying to deal with all the...
I can't even imagine what it's like to go into business like that, and the stress of like every day, you know, having to make sure everything gets done. And how hands-on were you at the restaurant? Was it?
I wasn't, unfortunately. I wish I was hands-on.
That was the problem, huh?
Yeah, that's what got everything started. I think if I should have taken like a year off, 6 months off, and stayed there for like full time on the restaurant. Make sure it's running well, make sure exactly how much it's making.
Yeah, right?
But I didn't. I waited too long. I waited 2 years, 2.5 years. And I was just putting too much money in it. You know, I was trusting my family, knowing that they were not doing the right thing. So at the end, I blame myself anyway. But regardless what happened, it's all behind now. The kids are in great shape.
There you go.
My youngest is graduating right now. I got 4 of them.
That's crazy, huh?
They all graduated on time. So that's I'm proud of them.
And congrats to Janine,
Janine's
married and pregnant.
She's having a baby soon.
Yeah, a lot of people listening might know Janine from the World Poker Tour and then the Deep Stacks, where she worked for you. She worked alongside me at Card Player back in 2006 when I first started in poker.
She works hard.
She was one of the interns with us at Card Player. It was quite a fun summer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was one of the better ones. How about you these days? How's your poker playing going these days?
My poker, I mean,
How much?
I'll tell you what, in the last 3 years, I think, I might have played 5 tournaments or 6 tournaments. And
not many.
No, but I did good anyway. Even for playing 5 tournaments, I won I come in second at the WPT.
That's right. At the bike?
LA, the bike, 2 years ago. And besides that, really, I mean, since that tournament, I think I played about 4 tournaments.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go back in the circuit now. I'm going to start playing more tournaments now.
Okay, I want to go back to the beginning. Can you talk a little bit about Beirut and growing up in Lebanon?
Well, what do you want to know about Lebanon?
Well, the story is you were there until you went to college.
No, I went there till I finished high school.
Right.
I finished high school.
And then you basically came to the States for college, right?
I came to America to go to university, yes.
Utah State University.
I was accepted in 3 different universities when I came here.
So you were a smart kid growing up.
I think so.
What was Freddy getting into? I want to know what Freddy was getting into on the streets of of Beirut. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, I was just studying hard,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time, my father broke his hip, and we were in the meat distributing business.
In the what?
Meat distributing
Meat
business.
distribution. Okay.
Yeah. So he used to go like to the small shops
Mm-hmm.
and buy like the good quality meat in wholesale,
Yeah.
and go sell it to like big restaurants and hotels in Beirut.
Oh, okay.
So the last like 2 years before I finished college, that's when he broke his hip. And I would go out every day early in the morning and buy all the meat, and I put it in the fridge.
That was your first job, huh?
Yeah, for the weekend. And on the weekend I deliver it
You
to
had
the
to deliver it
restaurants or the
everywhere.
hotels, and so in Beirut, you know.
Did you like it, or were you happy to go to Utah State?
No, at the time I was in college when I was in high school when I was doing that.
Yeah.
No, I mean eventually my dad was okay, and then he went back to do. But it was good money, man.
Yeah.
It was very good money at the time.
Big money in the meat
Oh
business.
yeah.
Huh?
Actually, I used to make more money than my father did
Yeah.
because I would.
You had more hustle.
Exactly. I'd argue more about the prices and this and that, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I made
Even
more
back
money.
then, you're making sure you had an edge.
Right. I did, you know.
So you went to the United States to study.
I come here to study when I
Mechanical
finished mechanical
engineering.
engineer.
Yeah.
I was accepted at Northrop Institute of Technology
Okay.
in LA. And
Yeah,
I
but
had,
how did you end up in Utah?
and I had an acceptance from University of Colorado
Okay.
in Denver.
Where your daughter went.
Right. It's funny, yeah. And actually, it was the first place I flew to was Denver.
Oh, okay.
I flew to Denver, and then I had to go to school like for an English language center in a city called Trinidad, about 200 miles north or south, I don't know,
Yeah.
of Denver. I called it Trinidad. I stayed there for 1 month because
More like
there
jail.
there were a lot of fights every day. And there were a lot of
Did it
fights.
work though? Did you learn the language quickly?
Yeah, I was studying English. Yeah, my English was good already, but I had to study a little bit more. They wanted me to study to take a course for about 6 months. So I ended up moving to LA to finish the course. I moved to LA.
Yeah.
I took the train from Trinidad to LA for like 24 hours. That was a fun ride,
Jeez.
you know. And in LA, I finished my intensive language, and it kind of was too big for somebody that I've never left home.
Yeah.
I've never left my family. I never traveled anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden here I'm in Los Angeles by myself, 19 years old. And
Yeah.
the language center was like about 1 mile outside downtown. I don't know, you know LA a little bit?
Yeah.
It was like on MacArthur and Alvarado.
Okay.
I remember the streets, MacArthur and Alvarado.
I don't know
which
what it
is-
was like back then, but
It was
can't be
tough
great.
area.
It can't
was
be great.
No, it was a tough area, right?
yeah.
And I had a phone number of a couple of kids that I was told that they live in, I don't know where they live. I had their phone number. So I called them and they told me they're in Utah. So I
Oh.
just finished my course and it was summertime. So I said, I'll come and visit, see how it is there. So I went to visit and it was nice, small town in the mountains. I said, this is perfect to go to school.
Perfect. No distractions.
Right. So I applied and I got accepted. And then I ended up going to school there.
And you almost finished.
I almost finished. I was broke because the war in Lebanon. I lost touch with my
Yeah.
family.
So for those who are not up to date on their history, was it 1975 when the civil war broke out in Lebanon?
Exactly. It broke out 1 month after I left Beirut. I left in February 13. So it broke up
Yeah.
1 month after.
And after that, you can't get a hold of your parents.
For almost 2
And
years.
they can't
In
send you money.
1978.
Right.
It got really bad, 1978. So yeah, I couldn't get any money.
No contact with them
No
at all.
contact. It was not like today, where you got Wi-Fi
Of course,
and,
yeah. Now you just check yourself
and
safe on
internet
Facebook.
and
Yeah.
and they didn't even have mobile phones those days.
Was your family pretty
You have to
affected?
call the landline.
Or were they
Yeah,
pretty
everybody.
safe? or-
Totally. They were safe. Nobody got hurt. Physically, but
Yeah, people don't realize it took 15 years for this war to end.
yeah.
15 years before they,
Oh,
calm
you
things
still,
down.
Yeah, you still see the signs
you
of
still-
it on the
yeah.
streets. Yeah. It was a long time, man.
But obviously, you're sitting here, you're in Utah, You're trying to finish school, trying to get that, regular 9 to 5 mechanical engineering job, but you don't have any money to pay for tuition. And since you're a student, you can't work, right? You
Yeah.
don't have a work visa.
Exactly. I tried to work actually a few times, and I didn't know. Finally, I got accepted to work, and they asked me for my work permit. I said, "What are you talking about work permit?" I showed them the visa, but
Yeah,
they said,
yeah.
No. You need a work permit." So I couldn't work.
So it's
because
not
I
like
was-
you were just like, some rich kid waiting for mommy and daddy to send you a check. You
No,
couldn't
no.
even work.
No, I couldn't work.
Yeah.
I couldn't
So,
work.
so then you turned to gambling, right?
Yeah, it was funny. At the time, I used to go on the weekend once in a while.
Yeah.
I'd go with a couple of friends to Wendover,
Okay.
and there was only one casino, the State Line in Wendover. And
What was the game?
we go gambling, and once in a while I go sit and play poker. Like those days, they didn't have no limit. They had like limit 3-6, 4-8, 2-4.
Not hold'em though, probably like stud or.
Hold 'em a stud. That's all
Okay.
there was. And so I'd play little hold 'em or stud, and I would do good. And so when I couldn't get a job, I said, you know what? Let me start going back there once in a while to play and make, to make expenses. And I was making money. Then I came to Vegas. I was making more money. And then LA opened up, and then I started making real good money.
Yeah.
And here I am. Unfortunately, I tried to get a job. Didn't work out by opening the restaurant. Got me broke.
The grass is always greener.
I mean, I lost a lot of cash, not broke. Broke. The definition of broke it differs from everybody to another.
Oh yeah, of course.
You know.
You know what I mean? Like
Whatever.
a former
I lost,
millionaire.
I lost a lot of cash.
A former millionaire who's down to their last 6 figures feels broke.
Yeah.
But they're not broke. You know what I mean? Like.
But everybody needs cash sometimes. We all go short on cash, and I mean.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So and then.
So what? Can you tell me about those early days and what you were doing to build your bankroll? I mean, I heard stories about you going into card rooms and just like starting at the lowest table and not leaving that day until you were playing the highest game in the room.
Actually, I did that at the bike one time.
Yeah?
I mean, a lot of times, if I'm short on cash, whatever it takes, you play any game. If you can win. You see, here, most people don't understand. Like a lot of players come up to me and say, "Oh, I don't play as big. I mean, I admire you, I this, I that, but I don't play as big as you do." And sometimes I try to explain to them. I don't care how big you're playing. There's no such thing as small in gambling.
Yeah.
Okay? The only difference between the game that's $100,000 buy-in and the game that's $100 buy-in is time. The money value is the same because you could win and lose $100,000 in the $100 buy-in game. Maybe it depends who you are. In 3 months, in 5 months, in 1 year,
Yeah.
in 1 month if you're a bad player.
If you're really bad, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if you play in 100,000 buy-in, you can lose it in one hand.
Yeah.
So you're really playing big, but time is the
It's
difference.
more a matter of how fast it goes or how fast you win.
Exactly. So there is no such thing as small in gambling.
Yeah.
And I've been I went to LA when I went to LA and they legalized hold'em and stud. I didn't have any money. I went with a friend of mine. He said, "Don't worry, I'll bankroll you." And we got there, and he was so sick he didn't want to even. We arrived at 2 in the morning, and he didn't quit. He kept playing. He played for like 24 hours after we drove
Jeez.
from Reno. We drove from Reno to LA, and we drove his car over there. And I took the car and went to Long Beach. I asked where the closest beach is, and I didn't know where it was. Security told me, and I took his car and I drove to the beach. I got a room right on the sand, and I slept. I went to the beach. I party. I wake up in the morning. I call him. Those days you have to page somebody. You can't just
Yeah, right. You put some coins in the machine and you call the
yeah.
card room and they
Yeah,
page him.
Yeah,
and-
can you page? His name was David Wright.
Okay.
So they page him or whatever, and I said, "Oh, come on, man, it's beautiful here on the beach. Come, I'll keep the room for one more night." He said, No, I'm gonna stay across the street at the bike. I said, "Okay," so I check out because I had no more money to pay for the room. It was nice.
Yeah.
So I went back. He said, "What do you want to play?" I said, "I'll wait till you quit." I'll wait till you quit, and then I said, I just woke up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna relax for a little bit.
Yeah.
He
You're
said,
easing
I'm gonna
your way
quit.
into it.
He said, "I'm gonna quit for a couple of hours." So I had about $80 left or something. So I'm walking around. They start like $3 and $6 limit hold'em game. So I said to the floor, "So you have a seat?" He said, "Yes." So I take a seat. So what's the buy-in? It was like $30 or something. So I buy 60 in the game. I win about 300, right? So now about an hour.
That would take 8 hours today.
Yeah, I won about 100, or 300, whatever. I went back to see him. He's still playing. But the list those days when they legalized hold'em and stud were 40, 50 deep on 5 and 10, 10, 20.
Yeah.
3-6, even 3-6
People
was like...
couldn't get enough.
Yeah, it's just the only reason I just come in and they were starting a new game. I found a seat.
Yeah.
But I mean, the list was crazy. It's like they're giving money for free or something.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway, next to him, there's 20-40 game, which was 20-40 those days is like 400 and 800 right now.
Yeah.
When you play 20-40,
it was
nobody
big.
even heard of 20-40.
It was big back then, yeah.
Yeah, you know, when people played 15 theater, they said there's a big game or something somewhere. So I said, I watched the guys playing, and man, I see these guys play so bad, four-handed. I said to the floor man, "What's the buy-in in this game?" He says 200. So I bring my chips, I sit in the game.
That's 2.5 bets.
I know. I bring my chips, I sit in the game. I play about 2 hours. I win like $4,500.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Right? So now my friend quit. He said, "I'm going to get a room across the street or whatever." I said, "Don't worry about it. I got the car. When I leave here, I'm probably going to go back to the same hotel."
Yeah.
Right? So he left. So now I played 2 hours in this game. The game filled up. I got bored, you know, because I'm playing short-handed for a while. Now I got bored, so I quit. I walk around. I see 3-4 guys playing 1 and 200 limit hold'em. I watch, and I know a lot of players because at the time I lived between Reno and Vegas. You know, I'm always between Reno and Vegas. And a couple of 3 times I used to go to the Amarillo Slim tournament.
Oh yeah.
In Reno, they used to have. Yeah, in Reno, it used to be. I mean, in Tahoe.
Oh, okay, Tahoe.
In Tahoe, if you remember. I mean, if you heard about it, you were not born then, probably, no?
84 here.
Yeah, I said you were not born. And, you know, I know all the players, so I'm watching these guys play. I said, "Geez, they play so bad." I said, "From what's the buy-in?" This is 2,000. I said, "Give me 4,000." I played.
High roller.
Yeah, I played, boom, 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 boom. I'm winning like almost 25,000. I lose the last hand, was cap pot all the way. I lose like 2,000 on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit with like 23,000 profit.
After starting that day in a 3-6 game.
Yeah, with $60, right? It's not over yet. It's not over. So I walk around a little bit. They're playing 2-400. Hold'em, stud, and low ball. I've never played low ball in my life. I said, "How do you play low ball?" Ace to 5. Ace to 5 low ball. So they told me how they play ace to 5 low ball. Because also the game was so good. The only 2 guys in the game that I knew was Eric Gregg and Yosh Nikano.
Yeah.
You know, these are the only 2 players in the game that I know from Vegas. The rest of them were like...
Who were they?
Just rich people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So now you got to sit down.
Right. So I sit in the game with 5,000. About 2-3 hours, I got like 20 in front of me. They want to kick it up to 3-600. Let's go. They play another hour. They want to kick it up to 4-800, which is very huge those days.
Okay, 4-800 is huge today.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, even then, you know
back
what I mean?
then it might have been the biggest game in the world.
Yeah, especially the way those people played those days. I mean, every part is 3-4-way action.
Yeah.
You know, if you play 4 and 800 now, you'll be lucky to get 3-way action once in a while.
Not to interrupt your story, but at this point, while you're in the game, are you feeling nervous at all? Are you drunk? Are you just
no,
super gung ho about
it? Oh man, I feel great. I'm making money, and they're all playing so bad. I got real unlucky to lose. You know?
So how'd you end up in that game?
Anyway, when the day was over with, I cashed out about 90,000 from that game.
Jesus Christ.
You know?
$60 to 90 grand.
Almost 97,000.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
So that's why you're not worried about going broke.
No. Well, even if I'm broke, I mean, what's broke? I mean, if I'm short on cash, I can travel anywhere. Mm-hmm. Start with nothing, and I can make it. It doesn't matter.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I make money all the time. I mean, I spend it, but you know, I got 4 kids, and I spend it. But anyway, you know, you want to know the funny thing about this?
Yeah.
I went back. I finished playing about 5 in the morning. The bar opened at 6. So I had me a couple of cognacs at the bar there. I drove back to Long Beach. I put the money on deposit at the bike. I took 5,000 and went back to Long Beach. To the same hotel. I said to the lady, you have special rate for like long-term stay? She said, yeah, we have weekly rate, we have monthly rate. It's a hotel right on the beach.
Yeah.
They have rooms where you open the door, you walk right out to the sand. Right?
Sounds like a nice place to be.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I said, and they have kitchen, they have like a studio, like kitchen and everything, you know. I said, how much is the rent for a month? She said like $850 a month.
Pricey back then, but
No
not too
kidding.
bad.
Yeah, $850. So I said, okay, let me pay you for 3 months.
There you go.
I paid for 3 months. You know how long I lived there in that hotel?
How long?
I almost bought the hotel too. I had a chance to buy it. I fucked up. I didn't buy it. I lived there 3.5 years.
That's in the same room?
In same room, same hotel. I opened the door. I walked right to the sand. And I almost bought the hotel.
That's crazy.
The guy, I swear to God, the guy that used to manage it, he was very old man. He said, listen, the hotel is for sale. Mm-hmm. I mean, he knew I have money because now, after living there 3.5 years, I changed like 5 cars.
Yeah.
I'm always driving brand new car.
And you were just playing at the bike and Commerce?
That's it, at the bike. The Commerce wasn't even going.
Yeah, that's right.
The Commerce was no big games at the Commerce.
Yeah.
So the guy mentioned it to me. He said, listen, if you want to buy the hotel, it's for sale for 1.8 million.
Yeah.
I probably can get it for 1.6 for you. Now it's probably worth about 50 million.
Yeah, I know. The real estate.
And I swear, a friend
alone.
of mine talked me out of buying it. Unfortunately,
Oh, man.
that was hell of a shot.
That was the big regret of your life? Not buying that hotel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, if I was going to say...
I mean, even without the hotel,
that's-
the
that's-
land alone would be
you
worth.
know, as much money as I lost in the restaurant, but I would say I regret that more than the restaurant.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I only
man.
lost about 2 million in the restaurant, plus it cost me another 2 million playing poker.
Jeez.
So that's 4 million. The hotel is about 50 million. Right now it's probably worth. I had chance to buy it for 1.6 million.
That's crazy.
And I had, my credit was great. I think I had about maybe 700-800 cash. I could have bought it in 1 second,
Yeah.
you know? At the time I had about 700-800 cash.
But who knows? You might not have gone on to become the poker.
No, I would. But I mean, what? The hotel is there. What's going to happen to the hotel?
I guess.
It's not like a restaurant.
I guess, yeah.
They can't steal it like a restaurant. They can't fuck it up that much.
I want to ask you about your lucky shirt. You still have it?
Yeah, I still have one.
Everyone knows about the lucky shirt. Phil Ivey said it was a lucky shirt, right?
Yeah, Phil Ivey tried to make fun of me, and he
Yeah.
was trying to be funny. He was trying to be he was sport about losing the pot.
Yeah.
So he said it must be the shirt.
Yeah.
He was trying to be
you
funny,
still
which he
got
was
it?
funny. Yeah, I still have it.
Yeah? How
Yeah,
often
yeah.
do you rock that shirt out in public these days?
I wear it once in a while.
Yeah? People recognize you when you got the shirt
I
on
should have put
more?
it on so you can take a picture. No, they recognize me without it anyway.
I know, of course.
Yeah, I mean, Phil Ivey was trying to be funny with me, and it made history.
Yeah.
You
I was
know?
watching clips of you on High Stakes Poker earlier today. For those listening at home, there are 3 great hands you play against
Oh, you mean
Daniel
somebody might
Negreanu.
be listening at home?
There's thousands of people listening
I
to this
better
right now.
watch my language then.
Actually, not right now, but in the future right
no,
now. You know
I
what
see.
I mean?
I see. I thought automatic right
Do you
now.
want us to bleep out your F-bombs?
Yeah, please.
Yeah, what noise do you want us to make over them?
Oh my God.
I should just call up Janine and make her record it.
Yeah.
Let's see here. What was I talking about? Yeah, so you had these hands against Daniel Negreanu, and it's kind of funny because you know, High Stakes Poker was like a huge show, big time for everyone involved, and you just got the better of him 3 hands in a row. You know what I mean?
Well, me and Daniel also. Not only that. I mean, me and him had a lot of final tables together, and we played a lot of final tables together.
Yeah.
When there's just start televising poker, you know. So we had a lot of history together also, and we're good friends.
Yeah, there was a hand where you had a boat over his boat that's for a huge 6-figure pot. There's another hand where you picked off his
Bluff.
big bluff. He bet 2 times the pot on the river, and you just called him with second pair.
Yeah, he bet 50,000. I remember that hand.
And the pot was only 25,000 or something.
Yeah, it wasn't not even that. Yeah,
I
there was
encourage
even
anybody listening to go back on YouTube and look. They're really easy to find 3 crazy hands where, one of the rare times Daniel Negreanu gets kind of owned by somebody. And
But
it was
he
you
did
all 3
bluff
times.
me one hand in the tournament too. I laid down ace king.
Yeah, he got
He
you
had
one
a total
time.
bluff. Yeah. Yeah, every card in the deck that could make a hand come, and he had totally air. I mean, but actually he mentioned that it's funny. I saw him 2 weeks ago, and he said, "Remember the hand I bluff you with?"
That's the one he remembers?
Well, that's what he told me. I said, "Daniel, I'm gonna tell you one thing. If you don't get bluff, you're not a good poker player."
Yeah, that's true, right?
So I just gotta try to make an excuse.
Right. If you've never been bluffed, that means you're calling too much.
But I didn't mention to him about those hands anyway. But no, we're good friends.
We got some rapid fire questions for you if you're ready to go.
Go ahead. Let's see if I can.
Let's see. Biggest pot you've ever won or lost?
The bigger pot.
I mean, we have evidence of you playing, $200,000 pots already online. I'm wondering if it ever got any bigger.
No, I lost. The biggest pot I lost was about 800,000.
800,000.
And I was playing with the worst player ever.
Do you want to name him?
I was playing with a very bad player. I mean, he's not around probably. Anyway. He might never hear it, but I mean, I don't care if he. George the Greek.
Okay.
Yeah.
George the Greek. Okay.
Remember, I know he lost. I don't know how many million he lost at the Mirage at the time. I'm playing him heads up at the Mirage. And we playing, no cap, it was like we played like 200,000 buy-in because the game broke up and he was steaming or whatever. And I had him beat for another like 200. And he had money in front of me. We both had over 400,000 each.
Yeah.
And I flopped the total nuts. And he had the second nuts.
Okay, how does that work?
And so he
set up for
it's
set,
Omaha. No.
Oh, Omaha. Okay.
No, it's Omaha. He's drawing dead on the flop. He's drawing totally dead on the flop. And he had like a pair on his hand, whatever. So the board pair, and then he hit. The river.
His two-outer, whatever.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the biggest pot I ever lost. I mean, I played a lot of $500,000 pots, $600,000 pots, and
Would you say more of them have gone your way than?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've lost more $500,000. I mean, I've won more.
Yeah.
Over $500,000 pots than I lost them.
Do you remember the biggest pot you won?
The biggest pot I won was, I think it was 650 in it. It was at Bobby's room. We're playing like pot limit triple draw.
Okay.
Pot limit triple draw.
That sounds like you could get out of hand real fast.
Yeah, pot limit triple draw, deuce to 7. But actually, another hand that I really always remember was like 5-way pot, pre-flop, pot limit Omaha. Even Bobby's room didn't exist. We played on the top section.
Yeah.
I won like almost a $400,000 pot, like 5-way action, with one pair of kings.
In a PLO hand?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I know. That's why like hands like this that I remember. I mean, me normally I'm not a hand teller guy or
Yeah.
I might talk to you
unique.
about.
I mean, there's some math geek listening can do the math on that. But for a pair of kings to win a 5-way PLO pot,
Yeah.
that gets capped like that, big.
Yeah, big. 400,000.
A lot of missed draws.
Yeah.
Everyone had each other's outs.
We put a lot of money in before the flop.
Oh, okay.
We put most of the money in before the flop. So they probably had no draws when the flop come down. But I mean, I'm not a hand teller story. But mostly it's, like when people want to talk about poker, I don't mind to talk about strategy, technology. Of poker. Yeah, technology, advanced technology of poker, man. Not everybody that thinks they know that kings beat queens, or they can sit there and wait for aces.
Yeah.
That doesn't make them a poker player. You gotta go the angles. You gotta know the technology of poker.
You have little tricks that you picked up over the years?
A lot of tricks. Like,
yeah. You want to share one? How about just like a live move? You know what I mean?
Game, you mean?
Or a live read that you pick up off of people. Like, what's a move? Because you're known for being able to size somebody up and make them uncomfortable.
Move that works almost for everybody. Everybody have sometimes different moves. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna tell you, one live move is like when somebody bets fast.
Okay.
90% of the time they're bluffing.
Really? Just betting fast?
Fast. Betting, yeah. Like you check, and the guy says, all in, or it says 5,000.
Just a quick number.
Whatever.
Or he already had it ready and he just threw it in.
Whatever, it's something like that, when they bet fast.
Yeah, well, if they had a good hand, why would they bet so
90%
fast?
of the time.
Right?
Yeah.
Unless they know you know.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm talking in general.
Yeah.
For people that are not real pros that don't know this stuff, they just do it, but they don't know that I know.
They don't realize, yeah.
You know, and like
How much? You play high stakes. How much tells are those guys giving off compared to like the me at the table?
Well, high stakes is also it depends. If you're playing limit, if you're playing pot limit, if you're playing no limit,
Different.
There is not much tells in limit.
Yeah.
Limited hand plays itself. You just have to have a good hand, and you look at your opponent's cards or whatever the betting is going on. But I mean, there is not as much.
More mechanical there.
Yeah, limit is more ABC. There is, once in a while you can bluff or whatever, but not much like no limit or pot limit Omaha.
Yeah.
In pot limit Omaha, there is so much bluffing.
Or semi-bluffing.
Yeah, semi-bluffing, bluffing, and that really adds up, when you're trying to pick up, at the end of the day, that people don't realize. People start telling you, I lost 10,000 on a pot, I lost 5,000, I lost 15,000 on a pot. But really, that's not where it's at. That's not where it's at, because bad player and good player pick up those good hands and win and lose with them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, where it's at is the ones you steal.
Those little pots add up, right?
They add up more than Yeah,
than the big ones.
The big ones.
They don't
if
come
you add
along
them up.
every
If
once
you
in a
add them
while.
up.
What's the best swap or piece you've ever gotten from anybody? Has
that's
anybody
a-
ever come through big for you with a swap
That's-
or a
you know
piece?
what? I don't do that much business with anybody, but it was funny that you're asking me this question. Did you know about it? Is that
No,
what
I
you're
don't.
asking me?
This is a question we ask
I
everybody.
know it's an interesting question.
We
but
ask
it's funny
everybody
that
this.
I never make any deal with anybody. I never make, I've been short on cash a couple of 3 times, and then some friends put up the money to play.
Yeah.
They don't even say, just say here, play 50% free roll.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I never do that with anybody, save anything. I mean, even like on the final table, I hardly make a deal. Maybe in the last 10, 15 years, I might have made a deal once or twice or 3 times. I don't.
What about the 50K that you won?
So now the 50K, no, we didn't. But that's what I'm gonna tell you about now.
Oh, okay, cool. There you go. I guessed correctly.
The year before I won the 50K, me and Chip Reese saved 5%, and Chip Reese won it.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest.
That's a nice payday.
Yeah. So I got back like.
That's your whole buy-in almost.
I got back like 75,000.
Yeah.
And
Your
it was
free
funny.
roll.
Janine was working the table. She was working the table and she needed a car. And I told her, if a Chip wins, I'll buy you a new truck.
I didn't hear this story.
Yeah, so Chip won the tournament.
And that was that final table that ended at like 6 in the morning.
Right.
It went all night long.
Chip won the
Chip
tournament.
and
I got
Andy Block were heads up.
75,000 from him.
Yeah.
And spent it on Janine's car.
There you go.
So.
There you go. And you're buying for the next year.
And then next year.
You won.
Next year, me and Chip saved 5%.
Oh,
and then
so
I won it.
You gave it back.
I gave it back. Which is, I was happy to give it back.
Yeah.
So that was like my biggest, save in the tournament.
I like that. And you broke even. That's cool.
Yeah.
What about prop bets? Are you a prop better? Have you ever?
Unfortunately, I played it a few times.
Well, I know props at the table, like cash
Right.
props. But what about like outside of poker?
No.
Nothing like
I'm
that?
talking like on the table. I was stupid enough a few times. I did it. Actually, one time I remember I was winning like we're playing no limit deuce to 7 at the bicycle. I'm winning like 120,000 in the game.
Good day.
Yeah, and I'm losing about 80,000 props. That was my last prop player.
Oh man. Yeah,
I've
I
never-
could understand why you
No,
wouldn't
I
want
never
to do it
played
again.
Yeah, so I'm not a prop player. I'm not a sports player. Once in a while, if by spooky goof, once in a while I might bet a football game or something
Yeah.
or a basketball game.
Keep
but
you interested.
Yeah, but I don't bet a lot of. I don't bet any sports.
Uh,
Unfortunately, I played in the pit.
Yeah, you were a big pit guy?
I'm a big.
What was it? Craps or
Baccarat, craps, dice,
Baccarat.
whatever. I
Baccarat
played
is
it all.
running the gambling world right now.
Yeah.
It's everything.
So all that stuff is no good. I give
What about these
everybody
days?
advice.
What about these days? You holding back?
No, I've been good. I haven't been playing. I just been trying to build up in poker again.
I get it though.
You know?
You get on a run on a craps table. There's nothing like it.
Yeah.
Are there any poker rules that you don't like, or is there anything about the poker world you're just like, I wish we can change that? You know what I mean?
I mean, I don't know, to think about it. I never thought about that question. Is there anything? I mean, sometimes things come up, but overall, everything is nice and beautiful. Look how beautiful it is here, man.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna find this at?
Exactly.
Look how beautiful. They have great food, great looking everything.
I'll mention it because we're here. We're at the Wynn, the
Yeah.
beautiful remodeled Wynn.
Yeah, it's a beautiful
Poker
place. You know.
room.
So I don't know, to change things. You know, the only thing I probably change, the only thing I complain about anymore, maybe, if I was gonna complain, is about the tournaments.
Tournaments?
Yeah.
What's wrong with tournaments?
They pay too many people.
Oh, you think it's too flat?
Yeah, I mean, what the hell? You pay 10,000, you beat 900 players. You know.
What percent do you think should get paid? Because right now it's like 15 in the World Series.
I think you should always get triple your money back if you make the money.
Triple
Triple your money back.
I agree with you for certain tournaments.
I think for all of them, it doesn't matter. They always
like-
what? They're afraid people are gonna go broke. People are not gonna go broke.
I think it's more to do with like,
What
let's
they're
say
afraid.
the World Series main event is a good example, right? They pay 15,000 if you min cash that, and to somebody who buys in for 10,000, that's nothing.
Exactly.
But if you want a satellite for $100 online, that's life-changing money to you. You know what I mean?
No, but
I could see it for tournaments with a lot of
I
satellite
don't care.
winners.
I don't care.
You don't care about satellite winners?
No. It's not about you don't care about satellites winner, because eventually even the satellites winner sometimes they're gonna go deeper than me.
Yeah, exactly. And
So-
they'll get paid more. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't matter. You can't be thinking whether it's satellite winner or not satellite winner. Maybe I haven't played satellite in a long time. I might play a satellite sometimes.
Yeah.
So what? But my whole point is, in all these tournaments now, you put up 10,000 to get 15 or 14, but that's bullshit.
Yeah.
You should always get triple your money back if you're in the money.
Otherwise, what incentive is there to play if you're a top player, basically?
Well, for me, it's okay. I'm a top player. Okay, but maybe I come in 9th sometimes.
Yeah.
I come in 14. I don't want to get 30,000. I want to get 100.
Okay. And that's how the payouts used to be.
Yeah.
It used to be flat 10%.
No, so
top
if
heavy.
I make 11th or 12th, I don't want to play for 3 days. Like
That's
you go
true.
play at the
Yeah.
play at the World Series. You play day 1, you play day 2, almost you play 10 hours before you're in the money, right? So you put up 5,000, you play the pot limit Omaha game or whatever. You cash, you get like 8,500 back.
Your
know?
hourly's not great.
I mean, it's not about hourly either, but I mean, where's the incentive?
Yeah.
For me to get a bracelet? What the fucking bracelets don't mean shit anymore. No, I'm serious.
Let me ask you about your bracelets.
You know?
You have really two different kinds of bracelets, right?
Okay.
You have a regular bracelet that you won the first one, right? 96 or 97, right?
Yeah.
$5,000 deuce to 7.
Deuce to 7, no limit, yeah.
Right? And then you have the 50K Poker Players Championship bracelet.
Yeah, and few WPTs.
Oh no, I'm just saying.
Those are the-
We'll
you're
stick
talking
to
about
bracelets for
bracelets,
right now. Do you mean because there's so many bracelet winners that don't mean as much now, or do you mean like any regular tournament doesn't mean much?
No, I'm talking, there's so many bracelets, here's the other thing that I want to complain about. Now, see, I'm thinking about it. Now that we're talking about it.
Now that I got your
There's
gears
this,
grinding.
yeah, this is the other thing I like to complain about. If you're going to play in a championship tournament and call it a bracelet tournament,
Yeah.
you got to have every top-notch player or every player that counts to knock you out as a champion, or to try. You have to outplay every good player in the field of poker to get a bracelet. So for them to have a tournament at 12 o'clock, that's a bracelet tournament, and now you got 50% of the field knocked out by 4 o'clock. Now you have 50%, I don't know how many good players, or the real good players are still in the other tournament.
Yeah.
And for you to come and win this tournament and call it also a bracelet tournament, that doesn't make any sense.
Right. Like, so it's the World Championship of, like, let's pick one, pot limit Omaha, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, you might not be crowning the world champion of pot limit
No,
Omaha.
you're
'Cause
not.
He might be on day 3 of
Or
10K
day 1 of
limit.
another tournament.
Or exactly. You know what I
Or
mean?
day 2 of another tournament, or day 3 of another.
So you don't like that they call it world champion?
No, it shouldn't
Yeah.
be. That shouldn't be. It shouldn't be a bracelet tournament. You can have only one bracelet tournament, The second bracelet tournament is only good if every player plays in it.
If the field qualifies.
If every player plays in it. If Phil Ivey and Daniel Negreanu are still on the final table of another table, and they started the tournament without them, then that's not a bracelet tournament. Shouldn't be. If Phil Ivey and Daniel Negreanu are not in that tournament, they're playing.
Right now, the World Series is listening to this. Like, how
does
can
that
we
make sense or not?
I hear what you're saying for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a little sour. Like, you're beating less competition. Basically.
Thank you. So how can you be champion of the champions if you got 10 champions in the other tournament, like Phil Ivey and Daniel, like I say again?
I like it.
Or Freddy Deeb.
Or Freddy Deeb. Or don't sell yourself short.
No, you understand what I'm saying?
Have you ever felt bad about beating somebody in a pot?
I never ever feel any bad about anything. No. Why would I feel bad? Nobody forced you to come and play.
No, sad sack,
no,
something like that.
I don't feel bad.
Someone
I'm
down
happy
on
when
their
I
luck?
beat anybody. I'm happy when I beat anybody. Never.
We talked about your worst job before poker. You were in the meat sales.
Yeah,
was that your
I
only job?
It was not my job. It was my father's
But
business.
what other jobs did you have before poker?
Before poker, I tried to work one time in Del Monte factory when I was in
Monte,
college.
like canning fruit?
Yeah, the one in
Okay.
Idaho. I worked for 2 hours, I think.
That's it? That's all you could last?
No, I couldn't make it, man. 90 cents an hour. What incentive you gonna have?
Jeez, 90 cents. I mean,
90 cents an hour. This
I'm
was
sure
in
that
19.
was comparable, but
This was actually this was before I ran out of money to just get a part-time job. During the summer, like in 70, I think it was in 76. I had money at the time, but I mean, I was still in touch with my family, but
yeah. No, you always have to have a side.
yeah, I got a job for the summer, and it was 90 cents an hour, and I went there, I lasted for 2 hours. And that was it. I didn't even ask him to get paid my $100.80 back.
Well, there
I
you
just
go.
left.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Take that $2 home?
I just left.
A few more questions, and then I'll let you go to your game here, which I think might be getting started soon.
It's okay.
I've seen you with headphones on at the table. What are you listening to?
I like to listen to Arabic music when I'm playing.
What is that again?
Arabic music.
Oh,
Arabic
Arabic.
music. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said auto-tune something.
No,
I was like,
Arabic
what?
music. No.
Yeah, is that all you listen to? Nothing.
I listen
Nothing from the States
I listen
leaked
to
in?
country music. I listen to
Country.
American. Yeah, I listen to.
You picked that up in Utah?
Yeah, with the Cowboys. I did. Country. I like country music.
If poker went away tomorrow, what would you do? Like,
poker-
let's say they outlawed poker,
Wow.
and then you couldn't play in a private game either.
I probably would open another restaurant, but I make sure I stay in it. I try to get even. I like to get even.
There you give it another shot.
Yeah, I like to get even. But if I do it next time,
I mean, the food wasn't the problem, right?
we had 4.5 star, man,
That's
on
what I'm
Yelp.
saying.
And the shopping center was very busy. Have you been there? Did you go there?
No, I drove by it when I was in LA last time.
We
tried
had
to
a good
stay, but-
location. The food was 4.5 star on Yelp.
No, I read a review online. It was very positive.
Yeah.
There was a place in my neighborhood. Line out the door every day.
Yeah.
Great food, 5 stars on Yelp. Everything reasonably priced, and they just shut down out of nowhere, no warning. It's so hard. It's so hard to beat the chains, right?
Yeah.
I can't.
You never know what the situation is.
We're all gonna be eating McDonald's forever. Just, no one can beat them.
I'm a good cook, man. I cook. It's faster to cook than go to McDonald's.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, how much?
How often do you cook?
Whenever I'm home, I cook. I mean, how much it takes to make a hamburger in the goddamn pan? Excuse my language. You know?
Yeah, there's another bleep right there.
Yeah, I mean, how long it takes to make a hamburger at home and slice the tomato and put it on it, and it's so fresh. You make it as big as you like. You
There you go.
put the meat you like. It's fresh, man. It doesn't take much to do it.
All right, we end the podcast the same way every time, with a question from the random question generator. You ready for this?
Go ahead.
Worst place you have been stuck for a long time.
The worst place I've been stuck for a long time.
You ever been trapped in an airport for a day?
No, never.
Or
had.
like,
I've been lucky. No, the worst. Actually, I was 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in Cabo.
That sounds horrible.
I was in Cabo. No, it is. You're laughing. You think
Yeah.
because it's a nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place. But there was a hurricane,
Oh, okay.
so I had to sit in the ballroom for 3 days The whole hotel got destroyed. The Sheraton. I was staying at
Were
the
you
Sheraton.
on vacation?
Yeah.
So you
I was at the Sheraton in
didn't
Cabo.
check the weather before you went, or
No,
you
I
were
didn't
just
check the
there that
weather,
long?
and the plane took off. They didn't tell us anything. I checked in the hotel. They never said anything.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, I flew on Saturday.
Yeah.
On Sunday, afternoon, I woke up. I'm playing on Poker Stars. I'm playing a poker tournament. They had like series of poker tournaments.
Yeah.
You know, and I was really deep in the tournament.
One of the coops back then.
Yeah, and then they come to me. This is 2 years ago. They come to me and they said, I had a room right on the beach. They say, we have to move you. There's a storm coming. I said, storm? It's okay. High wind is okay. No. You have to move. He says, okay. So they moved me to a higher floor. I said, come back in 1 hour. So I pack whatever. They moved me. I'm still playing the tournament. After they moved me, like half an hour later, they say, you have to come to the ballroom. I said, what do you mean ballroom? They said, there's a big hurricane coming, and the electricity is going to go out.
And you're like, I need the internet.
Yeah, the electricity is going to go out. I said, okay, I'll be over there. So I kept playing till the electricity went out. I kept playing like I'm going to be in the tournament for a long time.
Get your hands in.
And anyway,
you
so
blinded out?
Yeah, I shut the computer and that was it. There was no electricity, and I had to sit in the ballroom till midnight. When the hurricane hit for about 3 hours, it was very scary.
Yeah, it was that bad, right?
Yeah, everything totally destroyed outside the streets.
So they were right to move you.
Oh yeah. There was like 500 in the ballroom, sleeping on the floor. And it was scary when the hurricane hit. I thought the building was gonna fly off.
So how do they compensate you when weather ruins your vacation?
It's not that they have no control of it.
Right.
But they were nice. They were very nice. They were cooking like food up a storm because we were in the ballroom was next to all the storage area.
Yeah.
And they had a kitchen. I guess they have that for emergency. They have kitchen. They have community showers.
Yeah.
They have like 4 or 5 showers, 4 or 5 bathrooms.
So how long before you could get out and get home?
I tried to get out the next day. That was stupid to do actually. I had rent a car and I drove to the airport. Had to dodge a lot of palm trees, all these big trees on the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Wiring everywhere on the ground. I mean,
I grew up in Florida. I remember driving around post hurricane. It was, you're dodging a lot of debris.
I ended up going back and I had to stay at the ballroom for 4 days.
What?
Yeah.
4 days?
4 days.
In a ballroom.
Yeah.
That's
You couldn't
insane.
fly out.
I guess.
And even if you wanna, I was lucky that this place had food. They were
Yeah.
feeding us good food, But
yeah. You're on a resort, yeah, of course.
yeah, you go down the street, people are demonstrating downtown. There is no food to eat.
Yeah, I guess you can't really complain.
No, I mean
that's
it
the
was
thing.
bad, but it wasn't like horrible considering.
The circumstances.
Yeah.
Ooh. Well, I'm glad you got out.
Yeah,
glad
yeah.
everything's good. I'm glad you're going to
Thank
be
you.
seeing you playing more often.
Thank you.
Freddie, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
That's it. That's the show. Thanks again to Freddie for taking the time for the podcast. In case you missed it, this podcast is now available on Spotify. Just search for Poker Stories in the Spotify app on your phone, tablet, or computer, and be sure to follow it to get the latest episode every 2 weeks. Poker Stories is also available on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and Google Play. Leave a rating and a review, and let us know about it with an email to pokerstories@cardplayer.com, and we'll hook you up with a digital subscription to Card Player Magazine. Thanks for listening. Attention American poker players. Do you want to legally cash out your poker winnings to PayPal? Then head to globalpoker.com and see why it's the fastest growing site for US players. That's globalpoker.com.